How's everybody doing? Hello, hello. So I have to lower them. Boop. I can probably move that a little bit. There we go. I think we're good now. Hello, hello. Hi, Kita. I like the little icon, your little picture. It looks cute. At least from here, from what I'm seeing. Hi. Hello, hello. So we're going to talk about Christ consciousness and the Krystic Path. And when I mean Christ, I do not mean attached to any religion. I don't mean Christian or anything like that. Why, thank you. I feel good. I love my house. I love my property. I was talking the other day about how I would be a study of the Course in Miracles, right? When I think about the life that I have versus the income that I have, the life that I have is far, far more grand than the income that I have, right? And that's about being in alignment, right? Because wealth is different things. And it's interesting that I started talking about wealth because next week on the 13th, 14th, and 15th, I'm holding a 3-day series called Krystic Wealth Activation Series. This is a series that I'm putting on for my Krystic Mastery Circle members, and I have opened it up to the general public. There's 2 ways that you can attend. You can either become a Krystic Mastery Circle member, or you can purchase the class and attend the 3 days. You don't even have to attend the days. There will be a recording. There's all kinds of stuff that you get along with it, like a PDF and things like that. Oh my goodness, my laptop is not charging. I'm glad I saw that. That was well timed. My battery was less than 10% when I noticed that it wasn't plugged in at all. I love you. Best of luck with school. I know you'll do fine, right? When you're focused on something or when it's something that aligns or interests you, it's so much easier to stay focused and to commit to doing it. Did you see Melinda got a job? Melinda got a job. Like, she went to school and she's got a job now. Like, it's incredible, right? Love you. Blessings. Very nice, hey? I love you. Hi, Trisha. I was right? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about Christ consciousness. And again, this is beyond looking at anything related to religion. Okay, that's not what I mean when I'm talking about Christ consciousness. And there is a lot of people like me who agree that Yeshua, or Jesus, however you classify, that he came here to teach Christ consciousness, that he came to not teach you any religion, and he was pretty anti-establishment. So on Thursdays, that's what the pathway is going to be. We'll talk about Christ consciousness, the Krystic Pathway, embodiment, truth, all of those things. That'll be the Thursday. On the Tuesdays, we're going to do our weekly check-in. We're going to look at the celestial alignments for the week and how to best work with those energies, because we're meant to be in harmony with everything around us, right? We're meant to be in harmony with not just the people, but the beings and the plants, the earth, the sun, the moon, the sky, like all of it. We're supposed to just exist in harmony with everything. It's unity, right? Because we are all one. So this space exists for embodiment, for truth, and for integration, because truth isn't concrete until it's lived, right? Then it's just a theory. It's just a thought of truth. It's not actual until you live it. So this isn't about performance. This isn't about belief systems or spiritual identity, right? We are working with what is real in the body and in the field, anchoring Christ consciousness as a lived state rather than a concept. So that's what I talk about on this channel on Thursdays. So I want you to take a nice deep breath in, okay, and go through the nose, into the tummy, up into the chest. Most of us run around all day long with our nervous system engaged in some way, and we're breathing up here. We're not engaging our stomachs at all. And for many of us, if we actually put our hand on our stomach right now, you just feel that it would be quite tight or tense, right? It's not soft and pliable. And some of that is ego, right? We are holding our tummies up so that we look good. But the other big part of it is that we're not relaxed. We're not actually in full rest. Our nervous system is engaged in some capacity. So take a nice breath in through your nose, down into your tummy, up into your chest. And then when you let it out through the mouth, nice and slow, like you're blowing out candles, but not with that much force. So, okay. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just settle into the space. Feel your weight, okay? Feel the weight in your body. Feel the energy around you. Feel your feet on the ground or your bottom in the chair if you're seated. Just allow your body to settle in to the moment. Because a lot of us, we're not spending time in the present moment. We're out chasing something in the future. I have to tell myself that. I'll go outside for a walk, and like it's a practice, and it's a lived practice. So you're continuously living it. When I get up and go outside to go for a walk, I'll get walking and my mind will suddenly go on to, I have to do this, or I have to do that. Or when I get back from the walk, I'm going to do this, or tomorrow, or this, that, and the other thing. And I stop myself and I'm like, no, we're walking. We're meant to be present. Okay. So just pause, become present in the moment, not focusing on anything. I'm on a walk. I'm interacting with the land. I'm seeing the signs that nature has left me. That's what I'm doing on my walk. I'm watching my dog and minding him. I mean, we're 40 acres, so he's like good, but there is wildlife around. So I do have to be aware. Sorry, I need to clear my throat. Okay, so we're going to talk a bit about stuff that is going on right now. So we are in the waning lunar cycle, right? Following the full moon on January 3rd. And I do believe it's on the 10th that we have the third quarter, and we do have the new moon on January 18th. So the moon is in Virgo currently, which is calling us into refinement. That's what Virgo asks for: integrity, refinement. That's the energy of Virgo. Not highly critical, not perfectionism, mastery, refinement. That's more the energy of Virgo. And this is also humility and nervous system regulation. And there's a lot of that needs to be done right now. When you're looking out there and you're seeing all that chaos going on, that chaos exists because people are not aware of because people are riddled with trauma, because people are in fight, flight, freeze, disassociate, some state of numbing out, some state of avoidance, there's all these other things that they're doing to manage what's going on external to them. Many of us missed out on that opportunity to be born in an environment that was safe and to learn our place in the world and to gather soothing skills and emotional management or emotional maturity. So because of our traumas, we don't understand our place in the world. Our relationships are often challenging. We don't know how to soothe ourselves with our emotions. And the more chaos and disruption that's going on in society, the more you're seeing individual people having difficulties managing what's going on. So something that happens way out there, and we know something happened recently, it's in the news, it's everywhere. It's about the ICE agent. And I'm not here to talk about that. I wasn't there. I was not there. All I do know is the facts that get presented to me from all these different spaces. And I get a variety because I am not liberal or conservative. I actually think they're all the same bird. And they're all doing the same things, and they're all driving us to the same point. And that if people stopped and took a look at things, they would realize this isn't how we're meant to live. We're meant to live entirely different than this. So let's create the systems and structures so that we can live in those ways. And that's what a lot of star seeds or chosen ones, earth angels, light workers, what they identify, or even people that just believe they have a mission, or, that have that concept of maybe we're in a spiritual war, right? That they're here to make changes to the current system, because we can't, like, the system that's broken isn't going to fix itself, right? Like if you look at our system now and if you think that it's corrupt, if you think that, then why would that system become not that way? Why would it, like, if it's run by criminals, like, why would they ever become law-abiding citizens when they're controlling the system, right? So we're meant to create the new one, and we have to create it through actual lived, tangible, practical things. So Christ consciousness is what I'm here to talk about. And it doesn't rush, it stabilizes. This week is not a week for expansion. It's a week for the right order, okay? Because we have that Virgo energy that's asking us to regulate our nervous system. It's asking us to refine our environment. What is in alignment with us? If you continue doing today, every single day, where are you going? Where are you headed? What life are you embodying? If I continue to live the same pathway that I'm living right now with zero change, what is my life going to look like? Well, my life is pretty peaceful. My life is pretty joyful. I have put my life into such a pattern now. Hello, love. Aw, tell Abby I said hello. It's a day of people stopping in and saying hi. Keto was just here, and then she had to run away and do some schoolwork. Love you, sweetheart. So I lost my train of thought, but that's okay. It'll come back. My life I've set up to be quite nice. I get up in the morning. I meditate for at least a half an hour in the morning. No apologies. Wake up, I meditate, then I do yoga, which is a newly reestablished routine. And then I paint in the morning. So I get to do meditation for my spirituality, yoga for my body. I do painting for my creativity. And then I come into my office and I go to work. Once I've done to a certain point with my content, I walk my dog, and then I spend my time absorbed in nature. I come back from that walk, I prepare for my live if it's a day for that, or I go back to working on other things if it's not, right? I have my day created in such a way that it is peaceful. It has lots of moments for rest or for creativity or for play or for body movement, all of those things, because that's how we're meant to do it. With that particular type of day that I'm having, that's a nice life. If I'm getting up every day and I get up in the morning and I'm like, oh my God, another day, I got to go to work again. My dog actually went, whoa, 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 whoa. But anyway, if I was like that, my, Salasia, hello, lovey. I see you on this channel. Tap some likes. I'd appreciate that. Whoever's watching, if you could tap the screen and give some likes, because it does help me, right? If people sit and watch the live and never put a like in, that's probably signaling to the system it's not a good live. It's not worth watching. Don't promote her. right? So if you're watching me, please just tap the screen and give some likes. Right? But at the same time, I'm not here to perform. I'm not here for your likes. I'm not here for that at all. I have a specific, I'm doing me. I'm doing the things that are aligned with me. And in being aligned to me, it will align to the things that are also simultaneously aligned to me. So Christ consciousness is not a belief, it's coherence. Okay, it is a state where the truth, your body, your nervous system, and action, they're all aligned. So it's living in integrity, but in integrity with the truth. This isn't buying the lies and never examining them and then continuing to live the lie, right? There's many of us that are like, I came to have the human experience, and the human experiences means all these crazy things. Drugs and alcohol and sleeping around and whatever crazy things, right? But that's not the true human experience. That's actually the distorted human experience. And many of us that are in the spiritual mindset, we view the world as something entirely different than what most people do, right? We see it as maybe a spiritual war, or we see it as that it is a matrix, or it's a simulation, or whatever these other terms are that we use. But either way, with those terms, matrix, simulation, this, that, and the other thing, they're telling us there's a false thing here. So that's false. We're not meant to live like that. We're not meant to experience it that way, right? And there's so many distortions and lies and manipulations and stuff that has been put in it that if we live in alignment with the truth of society, we're very out of alignment with our divine truth or with Christ consciousness, right? Society would be eat as much as you want, drink as much as you want, buy as much as you want, bang as many people as you want, do whatever you want, no consequences really, right? I mean, our whole upper echelon never gets held accountable for anything that they do. So it's very clear there's not really any consequences, right? That's what's being taught as the human way. I mean, many people that I know would actually say that what we're living right now, and I'm someone that would very much say that, that's my belief, is that we are living in an anti-Christic system right now. This is what the Antichrist would want us to be doing. Sell our soul for music and fame and fortune, right? Go and be promiscuous and sleep with a ton of different people and, be so riddled with trauma and never do any self-evaluation. Just consume, 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 consume. Hate yourself so much so that you do everything to be nothing of you, whether that's through transhumanism, through makeup and surgery, through changing anything like completely about who you are at your core to that significant space, right? You have to be careful what you say on here. It could silence you. So integrity is living in integrity with the divine organic truth, right? So we know there are universal laws that exist. It's living in alignment with those universal laws. It's living in alignment, in harmony with Mother Gaia, right? That living in Christ consciousness, you're not going outside with a pan of oil from your car and just dumping it on stuff, right? You're not driving an airplane spraying chemicals all over the earth. Like that's not in alignment, right? You're not poisoning the water. You're not poisoning the food. That's not, right? Those are things that you're not doing because that's not the alignment, right? Even if you think that that's the truth, right? So that's why I want to be very careful that alignment, integrity, all of that being aligned with the truth doesn't mean it's the truth that you believe, even if that's a falsity, right? There's a lot of things that we don't know the truth about, even when hi, Carol, even when we, today's Christ Consciousness Day. So, and the Krystic Path. My other thing went away. Hello, Karen. Aw, watercolor. Sorry. I was looking at everything else. I forgot to. I thank you. I love you. Sorry. Watercolor painting. I've always been someone who's been very creative, and I've sketched, and because when I grew up, we weren't very financially abundant, and in that meant that I got school supplies, so I always had pencil, I always had a piece of paper, and so I was sketching or writing all the time. And I would have, say, pencil crayons and stuff like that. But as I became an adult, I started to acquire other things like painting supplies, because I could finally start to buy those things. And now, I mean, I love watercolor painting, and I pretty much do it once a day, and I do it first thing in the day, because then I know I'm having the opportunity to do that. If I don't get at it right away in the day, there's an opportunity that it'll get missed. It's the same thing with doing yoga. If I do it right after I do my meditation, it gets done. If I leave it and say, well, maybe we'll do it for bedtime, there's a whole day for me to convince myself not to do it. So you have to put it in the places and times that work for you. And for me, it works really well to do it first thing in the day. And I also needed to learn to slow down. It is, because that's the thing. And I actually, this year, I got my mom watercolor. So she started later in her life doing creative stuff, and she's been doing card class. And so this year I bought her a watercolor kit, and I'm going to teach her how to watercolor paint. But it's challenging. Even me, at the number of paintings that I've done or the amount of time that I've spent watercolor painting, I still botch them because I did too much water, I overworked it, or whatever, right? So I just started around just a little bit before 2. I was actually late today. I was trying to get on at 1:45, but or 1:44, but I didn't. I did not. I tried, but I did not. I did not succeed, and that's okay. So Christ consciousness, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the Krystic Pathway. That's what I talk about on Thursdays. On Tuesdays, we do a celestial check-in. We look at the planets, all of the alignments, and we work with their energy. How we're meant to, not this personality test kind of stuff that we did with, oh, I'm a Leo and this is how I'm a Sagittarius and this is how I am, right? And it doesn't have the distortion seated in it either. So when we're talking about it, I call it Krystic astrology, and it's based on true sidereal, which is the living sky as it is. I'll be teaching a course in that in March. What was I going to say? And I do have readings available in it. They're just not posted on my website. So you'd have to talk to me about that. And all the lives, I do them on TikTok. I actually have 2 channels on TikTok that I'm running them on right now, 222 guys. And I also am on Facebook and both YouTube channels that mirror these 2 channels on TikTok. So I'm on 5 channels right now, which is cool. But the reason why I'm saying that is because you can find the recording on the YouTube channels that I have. So if you want to go back and rewatch something or catch up, you can catch them there. And there's tons, like every live I do education, right? I'm here to do education. It's about embodiment. It's about living it. We can learn everything, but unless we're actually applying what we've learned, it's just information and it does nothing. Right? But for us to create the new earth, we actually have to embody what we need to create, right? So if we need new systems, we need to create them. Let's create new schools. Let's create new monetary systems. Let's create, right? And I started with the school. It's more like a mystery school than it is like a public school, but it was called the School of Light initially, but now it's Pathway of Ascension, but the School of Light still exists within it. And I call the courses Bridge to Light. I've done phase 1 and phase 2 is going to happen in February. We're going to talk about phase one a bit in my content between now and February, just preparing people for it. Part one was about learning and stepping into your truth, where you're clearing out your traumas or some of the distortions and stuff that you held. Phase two is about embodiment. It's about actually living it. Okay, so let's get back in what we were teaching. Okay, because I have to look at my notes so I stay on point. All right, so it's not a belief, it's coherence, right? It is the state where the truth, your body, your nervous system, and your actions are aligned. False teachings emphasize ascension without structure, or they keep you looping. So if you feel like you can't let go of your spiritual teacher for some reason, like you have to keep going back to them, you have to keep getting another upgrade, you have to keep getting another activation, it feels really good initially, but then you give yourself a little bit of time, it starts to fade away and it's not permanent. It's because they either didn't give you some part of the practical or integration part that you need so that you can carry it on your own and don't need to come back, or they did it on purpose to keep you looping and needing their services because they're a false light teacher. The true ascension pathway is a spiral. Okay, so think about a circular staircase, just like that. And most times you're going up the spiral, right? You're doing the ascension, you're learning, you're peeling back those layers, you're remembering. And it's kind of interesting because we're ascending upwards, but we're ascending upwards through remembering the truth that we've always known, which seems kind of weird. Like you should be going down the stairs to go inward, right? So as we're ascending, but there's many times where we go back down a little bit, we come back up a little bit, we go back down a little bit, right? Sometimes we go around that spiral and we're like, wow, this looks really familiar, because we're revisiting a pattern that we were exposed to before, that we were trapped in, and we're revisiting it to see if we respond the same way. So are we going to choose to engage in a pattern that was an old pattern? And if so, well, maybe we go down the ascension pathway a little bit, right? Maybe we go down that circular staircase. But if we choose to respond differently, so I always use, I like to joke around and the flip the table part, right? So if every time I get mad, I flip a table and I smash all the stuff on the table, right? I can't control it. I don't know what it is. Just something, I got to flip a table, I'm mad, right? That's a pattern that I'm in. So if I come to that moment where I get really angry, and instead I pause and I take a deep breath and I do some introspection and review why, that's where I had that opportunity to review that pattern and go, am I going to continue to respond the same way? Yes. Well, then I'm still looping. I'm not ascending, or I'm going back down, right? And that can happen. So the Krystic Path looks at order before expansion. It's not talking about, the Krystic Path doesn't promote fake it till you make it, right? It's about being in alignment, right? So we need to get a drink because my throat just anyway, I have to check something. Sometimes people give, you get a little message up and you're just like, whoop. Just give me 1 second. I'm okay. Okay. So embodiment precedes revelation. Revelation without embodiment overwhelms the system. The body and the nervous system must be able to hold the truth safely, right? That's why the veil doesn't get ripped back. It's not just boom, hello, here's the truth and all the truth and everything, because people's psyche couldn't handle it. It would just literally break them. That's the cognitive dissonance, right? It's so opposing what their belief system is, and they have attached themselves so firmly to that belief system that it would literally drive them insane to have the veil open so fully. So that's why it has to be at a rate so that your nervous system doesn't collapse. And that goes for everything. And for you specifically, in your ascension pathway, you need to be looking at the body and the nervous system being able to hold the truth of what you're revealing. Otherwise, the insight is going to be destabilizing rather than liberating, right? And that's what ends up, it creates that chaos and that, right? Can you imagine, your grandma, let's say, your grandma's very like staunch in her ways, like many that are at that age can be, right? They've, all these years of having the same belief system and not examining it. And you get to that point, right? And they're like, life is exactly like this, that kind of person, right? Could you imagine if the veil got lifted and it was like, yep, the world is being run by, reptilians and, there's these like, could you imagine how that would fracture your mind because it's so very opposite from what reality is for that individual. So that's why things have to be through what you can handle, right? By what you can handle. So we have to do the embodiment. Hello, Amber. We have to do the embodiment because that creates the internal structure that allows truth to land without the fracture. So why does truth have to land in the nervous system, right? Why? Because truth isn't fully realized until the nervous system can remain regulated. If every time you hear something, you're like, oh my God, 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 right? Like that's not stable, right? You're still rejecting it in your body. There's something that is not okay with that truth. So it's not helping you, right? You need to remain regulated. If the body goes into collapse or if the body goes into urgency, dissociation or activation, the truth is not integrated yet. So regulation is the gateway to coherence. Okay. All right. Thank you for the likes on the live, Carol. I love you. So how bypass fractures the field. Spiritual bypass skips the body in favor of concepts, identity, or transcendence. How many spiritual gurus have talked about like transcending the body? How many talk about how the dimensions of ascension, like 12D ascension, and like we're in the 3D, which is the material, so we're gonna go into the 5D, and you're gonna go out of your body. Right? That's not how it happens, right? It's not how it happens. So when we do that, it's creating internal splits or it's creating energetic leakage and also instability in your field. So over time, bypass leads to burnout, confusion, and loss of trust in one's own perception. And I've seen that with people that I've worked with. Where I've helped them take and clear off attachments and to become sovereign again in their own space and to create boundaries and protections. And it's because, they worked with people they believed that they could trust, and they ended up being false light teachers and created issues for that individual, or for many individuals. In fact, it happens. And so it's that experience that then your ego goes, okay, we're looking at things from the rear view mirror here. So when we did this before, so we can't trust those types of people, right? So it breaks your trust in your choices, your self-making choices, or your trust in spiritual education in any way. So Virgo energy supports Krystic integration. We have the Virgo moon right now, and Virgo restores right order through care, humility, and precision. It supports the slow, practical work of aligning daily life, Remember, it's concerned with those routines that we have within your environment. Virgo is looking at how can I refine my environment so it's in alignment with me and so that it is upholding my health, right? It's also looking at your body rhythms, what supports your rhythms. Maybe you've been trying all along to throw a workout in at bedtime, but your routine, your natural body rhythms are first thing in the morning. And if you just got out of your own head of saying it has to be at this time, you could easily put it in first thing in the morning and have no problem maintaining a routine, right? That's the energy of Virgo, right? And Virgo's also supporting the nervous system capacity, right? It wants us to have those daily routines where we're actually, refining ourselves. So we're maybe meditating or we're journaling, we're doing, reflection things. Virgo wants us to be doing the breath work. It wants us to be going and walking or running or exercising because Virgo is about your health and your routines. So we need these to be at a higher capacity. So in the sense of nervous system, you have to have good breath work. You have to have, the ability to slow your breathing down so that when something happens around you, you don't become reactionary and thereby lose control, right? Because once you become reactionary, you're not in your adult mind. Okay. Once you become reactionary, you are running under the fight, flight, freeze, disassociate, the pinball machine of your brain, trauma all in there. And you could be operating as a 3-year-old having a temper tantrum, right? So we need to have those, the nervous system capacity enlarged through breath work and reflection and everything that we need to do to clear out those traumas and stuff so that we can handle that capacity. And that's so that we can live that Christ consciousness consistently rather than accessed only in peak states, right? So the Krystic pathway is not linear, it's integrative. The path asks you, where is my life inefficient or misaligned? Hi, mommy. Oh my God, my mom came on hard. Hi. All right. So where am I leaking energy is the other question. So where is my life inefficient or misaligned? Where am I leaking energy? And where does truth require me to simplify? Because Virgo supports devotion through care, not sacrifice, right? That's the goddess energy. It wants you to take care of yourself in a loving way, not to be abusive or anything like that, right? Hi, Snea. Hello, how are you, love? So we're going to do our little embodiment practice, okay? We're going to do our little embodiment practice. And you know me, I like to make these, Happy New Year to you. I like to do these every single live that I do because it's not real if it isn't lived, and it isn't lived if it isn't embodied, right? So put a hand on your heart. Slow your breathing. Close your eyes if you want to, okay? And as you start to slow and deepen your breathing, I want you to place your awareness into your lower body. Okay. Paying attention to the rhythm in which you're breathing in and out. Allow yourself to drop out of your mind and into your body. Focus on the space. Focus on the feeling. And let your mind quiet. Now you're going to invite the question, what does my body need in order to hold truth without strain? We're just going to sit for a little bit, and you're going to allow whatever rises to arise. Maybe a knowing, a sense, a picture, a feeling, a word, a song. Whatever rises is exactly as it's supposed to. What does my body need in order to hold truth without strain? Okay. You can be brave and post your comment if you'd like. What I got from it is, love you. Hello, sweetie. I got breath work. That's what I got. And it's something that's come up to me in reflections recently, is that I need to incorporate some more breath work practice. Now, in the morning when I do my meditation, I go through a series of breath work, but love you, mommy. Go give Soraya some love. Yeah, I do Tuesdays and Thursdays lives around this time, Mom. And so any Tuesday and Thursday that you're available at 3:45, at 3:45, you can catch me on Tuesdays and Thursdays, as long as I'm not late. But but yeah, you can hang out with me. We still have to make a painting date. So once you're back at your house, like once you're back home and settled, let me know so we can have a painting date and try out your new kit. Yes, yes. I had a really great conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and some of the stuff that came up. And so I do this little reading. Let me check. I need to check really quickly just for the information around it. So, but just give me 1 second. Thinking, where did I want to go to look for what I was going to look for? No, I'll talk about it another time then. So in the morning when I get up and I do my meditation, because I know I was talking about that, so I'm going to talk about that because it's I can remember, and I'll go into whatever else it was that I was going to talk about in a moment. But I do have readings available that I do on your true sidereal Krystic astrology, and when I did the one for my girlfriend, some of the stuff that it was saying was just so powerful. And definitely was giving her some cues about listening to her body. Like if we love our body, right? If you think of your body as a temple and you really love your body, and that's what I've done this last little bit, is I've just decided to start loving my body and thinking of it as a temple. And when you start to treat it more kindly, it's beautiful. Yeah. So stick around. I got all of that on here. That's all I'm doing right now is true sidereal / Krystic astrology, Christ consciousness, the Krystic Pathway, embodiment, like that type of stuff. So the truth and true sidereal. So I'll be teaching it in March. I'll be teaching a course on Krystic astrology in March, but for right now, I'm just teaching little bits of information here and there on it. You can find out more, and there's definitely more. I go into more depth on my membership groups because I have a bunch of membership groups available on my website. 4 of them right now. I actually have 6, but 2 of them I paused for right now because it was just a bit to manage at this time. Perfect. That's perfect. But I do have a free group on my website called templeoflight.com. definitely connect to that free group for anyone that's hanging out with me and likes the content that I'm doing. Definitely connect to that free group because I'm always posting deeper stuff into it. I do a thing called, I started it this January, called Messenger of Truth. And each week I post a post, and I also post a reflection prompts that go in alignment with that post. So, and it's all for free. The Temple of Light is completely free. So definitely check that out because it does have more depth than what some of the stuff, like it's just more depth than what I might do on social media. So Christ consciousness is not loud, it is precise. And this week, with the energies that we have with the celestial bodies, this week is not about doing more. It's about doing what is true, cleanly, and with care. So this is about refinement, listening to your body, remembering Virgo's the goddess, very earth element, right? So this is about your body, and we are in the embodiment phase. This is what 2026 is all about. So we need to be working on those things. Tuesdays, we do the celestial alignments. We look at the alignments for the week. We check in with what transitions there are. And on Thursdays, we do Christ consciousness and the Krystic Pathway. So we'll keep alternating between those two shows each Tuesday and Thursday. And occasionally I'll do a surprise live on Thursdays or a surprise live on Wednesdays. We wear pink. On Wednesdays, we wear pink. I'll do the occasional surprise live, and that could be on anything. Maybe there's a major celestial event that I want to talk about, or maybe I got a big download of some information and I want to share that, or maybe there's some teaching that I think would be really, really important to hear about. I also have another course that's coming, another class. It's a smaller class that's coming up. Let me see here. It is going to be a Krystic nervous system reorientation. So it's just really about the nervous system and money, why urgency, proving, and spiritual over-efforting block circulation, what regulation actually feels like at this stage of awakening. Then we get into the Krystic reorientation teaching, time, trust, daily bread, and nonlinear provision, why money pauses when peace deepens, and how to live without bracing. And then part 3 is guided nervous system reorientation, breath, body awareness, and field settling. No visualization overload, no catharsis, just coherence. And then part 4, it's the integration and question and answer section. So this is an opportunity as well as the Krystic Wealth Activation Series. And like I said, that Krystic Wealth Activation Series is January 13th, 14th, and 15th. There is a free quiz you can take to check out what your Krystic Wealth archetype is that's available on my website. So Anshara'El.com/KWA quiz, all one word. So KWAQUIZ, sorry, KWAQUIZ. So do go and check those things out. Check out my website. I did do some updatings on it. So it's been updated, and I appreciate any feedback that I get from it. I am going to be putting an announcement section up on the main page in the next little bit. And I do have to put up my last 2 books that I published onto the system. Yeah. So those 2 books were book 5 in the Unlikely Heroine Chronicles, which is Tiana and the Phoenix Who Refused to Burn. Don't be afraid to throw out the mold and create a whole new identity for something. And what else was the other book that I published is book 6 in the Luminous Soul series. Book 6 is Infinite Wonders, The Universe Has No End. These are beautiful books for children. I have so many children's books. I have, like ones that I wrote in honor of my grandchildren. The Unlikely Heroine Chronicles is a mixture. It's books written for my granddaughter Mariah and my two nieces, Soraya and Parisa. So 3 of them are named that. And then the one's named Tiana, which is a variation, I guess you could say, of Tanya. So the 4 girls are friends, and they are unlikely heroines, and they meet mystical creatures and have humorous encounters with them, and teach you that, there's many lessons that get taught through the books. Luminous Soul series, the Luminous Soul series is a book that teaches children that it teaches about energy, and that, they're connected to everything, unity consciousness. It teaches all of those things, like communing with nature, and that you can send energy out to somebody, and it has all these practical things that you have to do at the end of each chapter. The books that I wrote initially for children were Jessie Learns to Create Calm Spaces, which is really great for children if they have anxiety, panic attacks, or, just have difficulty regulating their emotions. After years of hearing how, there should be classes on this, and working in nursing and seeing, like this real need, and also being someone who had a lot of trauma and could have used this book as a child, I decided to write Jessie Learns to Create Calm Spaces. It teaches you to link a color to an emotion, and then power up your imagination with images in that color, so that it helps you to embody the emotion that you have associated with that color. So for me, joy is yellow. So I would think about yellow and flood my body in the color of yellow. It also takes you through the 4-element mindfulness technique as a part of Calm Spaces. So color theory, and then the 4-element mindfulness technique, which is earth element grounding, water element, which is tricking your nervous system using a couple of techniques to wet your palate, air for breath work, and then fire for firing up your imagination. So it goes through all of that. Then there's 2 books that I wrote. They are a series as well, 2 separate series. I wrote them for my grandsons. The first one is Jack and The Adventures of Jack and Nanny B, Monster Edition. And Jack and Nanny B are armed with love and light. And Jack and Nanny B go hunting monsters. Monsters are actually children who have been bullied, who have been neglected, who have been made to feel unwanted. And so they became monsters through that process. And Jack and Nanny B go armed with love and light, and they remind them that they are loved and wanted. And the children the monsters change back into children. So that's the Jack and Nanny B Monster Edition. There'll be more books in The Adventures of Jack and Nanny B, but that's the first one. And then the next book was for my other grandson, who's Charlie. So it's Choo Choo Charlie and His Adventures with Nanny B. And the first one has a really long title, and I have to think about it every time I say it, but it is No Spitting, No Biting, No Hitting, and No Kicking. Because my grandson was 3 when I wrote it, and he was very much into doing those little things, and we were constantly telling him no. So I wrote him a book about that. Charlie and Nanny B take a train into Storyland, and Charlie encounters all these different creatures. So he encounters an ostrich who spits on him, and Nanny runs over and says, no spitting, no bite, and tells him not to do those things. And then he meets an alligator that tries to bite him, and a monkey who slaps a banana out of his hand. And each time Nanny says that, well, then he encounters 2 kangaroos who look like they're dancing, but he's smart this time. He stays back, and he realizes they're not dancing. They're actually fighting. And the one kangaroo kicked the other one. So then Charlie's the one that says, hey, no spitting, no hitting, no kick, no biting, and no kicking, or the book. None of those things. So he says it on his own teaching, showing that he's learned it. So really cute books. And there'll, of course, be more books under Charlie as well. So I have all of these books available on Amazon, plus others. I have all these books that are available on Amazon worldwide, or you can get them as an ebook off my website for a less price, because it's an ebook. So you're not worrying, you're not paying some middleman, and you're just downloading it right there. So if you want to read off of a device, you can go get them there. I keep all my books relatively inexpensive, especially the children's book, on my website. The last 2 books in the series, I haven't put them up yet. So book 5 of the Unlikely Heroine Chronicles and book 6 of the Luminous Soul series is not on the website yet. Hopefully I'll have it up after this weekend. But I am a one-person team, and if you look at my website, you'll see that I have a lot of things that I offer. And I also have a nonprofit. I'm wearing the shirt for it today. It's Hugs for Homeless. It is out of the Edmonton area. It serves Edmonton and surrounding areas. And what we do is we gather donations for the homeless, and we create backpacks in these. So this Hugs for Homeless nonprofit that I own, I take donations, we make backpacks, we distribute them to the unhoused in community. I have a partnership with a global wholesale and bulk supplier. So when you do donate, your money is going to go even further. I also have partnered with Kits for Cause, which is a charity organization for corporate team building. So if you own a corporation, or you are a part of a corporation, or you are somebody that manages the team building activities, Hugs for Homeless might be something that you would be interested in doing that for. At Kits for Cause, what you do is you put in whatever your budget is. You say you want your budget for team building, let's say, is $10,000 just to have it. So you would contact them, determine that ours is the organization that you want to do it for, and this is your budget. They would send you all the stuff that you purchased with the $10,000. And then as a corporation or organization, you and your employees would put the backpacks together. And why this is really, really cool is because backpacks, when they're distributed into the homeless communities, if they carry a sleeping bag, they can actually save a life. But no matter what, whether they have a sleeping bag or they have a blanket and toque and mittens and stuff, no matter what, it changes a life. Every single backpack changes the life of the person's hands that it goes into. This is something that I've been super passionate about for a long, long time, and something I wanted to start up for a long time. So I'm very happy that I've finally done this. Me too, as a child, I experienced homelessness a couple of times. It was sheltered from us. We were lucky enough that when we were homeless, it was during the summer months and, like the warmer weather. And we managed to camp at a lake. And it seemed to us as children, although we knew we didn't go home ever, and my mom had a bed in her tent, so we knew we didn't have a home. But it didn't feel the same as being homeless in, I never experienced the winter months. I wasn't trying to get to school or any of that. To me, we were just camping, and I loved camping. I loved being near the water. So even though reflecting on it, knowing you didn't have a home is challenging, experiencing it the way some people do. I mean, in Alberta, it has been minus 20 most of the time since November. We hit really low or cold temperatures right away, and it stayed that way, right? I can't imagine living outside in these temperatures, and I'd take my dog for walks some days, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't even imagine. It was minus 57 with the wind chill one night, and I was just like, I just can't even imagine. So if you have anything to give, and we take donation, any size donation, we accept them all. So you can go to hugsforhomeless.com. We are a registered nonprofit. We will be working towards at some point charity status so that we can give you a charitable receipt. But if you're doing a corporate team building thing through Kits for Cause, they are a registered charity. So for the corporate team building stuff, that is actually at they would give you a receipt. That's what I was going to say. they can give you a receipt through their company because they're a registered charity. So for corporate team building things, I would suggest going through that. But if you want to make a donation and you're okay with the type of receipt that you would get from a nonprofit, more than certainly, please do donate. We do have volunteer opportunities. Those volunteer opportunities are like, one, we're looking for some people that are into looking for research grants, or are into researching for grants for nonprofits that would fit for our company. So someone that loves doing that type of stuff or applying for grants, people who, you know, have social media skills and or you know, even have big platforms that they can share information to. All of those things are ways that can be helpful to an organization like ours. We do or will have a need for in-person volunteers for distribution of backpacks, or setting up donation tables where we're handling either physically or handling cash donations or physical donations of, you know, mittens and toques and stuff like that. So those opportunities are available. What I've suggested is that if you're interested and you are in Edmonton or surrounding areas, and or if you are further away and are okay with doing, say, like I said, a research position, you don't have to be in person. That's something that can be done from a distance. So if that's something that interests you, please do go check out our website. Just send us an email at info@hugsforhomeless.com. So all of that stuff is there. And I appreciate everybody's support. I love you guys. But that's about it for today. I mean, we could have some fun and talk about the fact that there's a squirrel on the deck and Cass is sleeping and kind of oblivious to it, which is cute. We could talk about all kinds of weird and fun stuff. We could talk about all kinds of things, whatever you want to talk about. Hi, Timothy. Oh, I'll go grab some. I will take any opportunity to show some of my artwork. I do it for love. I just do it for my own love. Let's see. I got into doing a bunch of Christmas ones. So I made this this happy Christmas moose. I'll put it up there so you can see him a little better. The happy Christmas moose. I was playing around with the cup, like just different styles. So I did that one, which was fun. Did I do anything else in this book? I mean, I have other ones in that book. Let's see. I did this one here. I was going to send to my mom. It says, you're my jam, because she makes jam. I sometimes do like abstract, my mushroom tree that I made, the mushroom that I painted, you know, a little tiny landscape with little trees. Some other, you know, types of landscapes. This one I made thinking of my friend, because she loves pink. Quick little bouquet. Another, just, you know, some abstracts. So I'll do these in the morning. I just do quick little pictures in the morning. There's so many. It's just, you know, and that's, you know, that's just it takes a half an hour, takes, you know, whatever, 15 minutes or something like that, depending on which one it is. And my whole thought process is that when somebody orders a physical thing from me, that they, when they order something physical from me, that I will send them a personalized, like I'll send them one of these with a thank you note, right? Whatever, just randomly. You could end up by Christmas time getting a happy holidays with some penguins on it, right? That's one's for my mom. That's my mom's penguin. So yeah, I do all these, I do different, just play with different styles. And yeah, so, and then you like the bigger the purchase, I guess, the bigger the painting that you could end up with for anything that I have to ship. And I don't have anything that I have to ship yet, but so this is a friend's, I did this for a friend for Christmas because her favorite color is pink. I don't even celebrate Christmas, but I got into like just doing cards for it. This was for my other friend. I did another picture. I did a picture for her. Another just really more of an abstract landscape. Same thing with that one. And yeah, and I've got some others, like this one was another abstract landscape. And then we've got the big boy, and the big boy doesn't have a lot in it though. Like I did have a bunch of, like I've done a bunch of landscapes in it that I've done. Me and my dog on a walk. Beach scene, because I'd like to be there. Another water scene. Another water scene, but this one I tried to do it in black and white, which was a different challenge. And then I did this little page with 4 different little images in it, and that's where I left it with this book. And then yeah, that's all I brought in with me to show. Yeah, just have fun with it, right? The thing that helped me was 2 things. One was just having fun with the messy parts, right? Because every time that you're doing, or I find pretty much every time that I'm doing a watercolor painting, that you go through a spot where it's like a messy spot, right? And I would often in the early days, I would give up in those moments, right? Because I'm like, oh my God, I've destroyed it. Look at it, it's terrible. This is just so ugly. But if you just hold on through those moments where you think it's ugly or whatever, my dog just noticed that squirrel is outside. You realize that it's actually not bad at all. And I find that as I let it dry, that also helps too. Once it dries, it looks so much, it always seems to surprise me with how it looks. It seems to look just that little bit better. So yeah, I'm in Alberta. I'm still in Alberta. Right, I'm still in Alberta. How are you guys doing? Hi, Mom. Mom, can you tap on your phone screen a couple of times? But yes, watercolor, I love that it is so versatile, but it is also so challenging. I have painted a few pictures in acrylics. I did one oil painting. My only issue with oils is that they are smelly. It's smelly to make oil, like to paint oil, that's all. But I do love to paint. I absolutely love it. So yeah. Yeah, it's just a picture. There's 2 pictures, one out there that doesn't have the light lines around it. It's more of a gray and white picture, but I like this one. It's nice. It's nice. Mm-hmm. How are you doing? Thank you for asking, and my pleasure. Thank you. I actually had, at one point, I was putting together a 30-day watercolor course. My way, like more of a reflective kind of course. I was putting that together at one point. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Cass is all interested in the squirrel on the deck, but he's not barking. I'm actually impressed. He's just very, very attentive. Yes, nice. I love it. I love it. I love art. Like, to be fair, I love creativity and I love art. And I love just how broad and vast and like just different it can be. Like how certain people, like just like it's just some people's talent blows, like just makes me go, oh my, like that's just incredible. It's, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy good. Right. So yeah, but just stick with it. Whatever it is that you like, just stick with it. Don't do it for money. Don't do it for anybody but you. And when you're first doing something that you're like, something like taking up a hobby like watercolor, knitting, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter. Just give yourself the freedom to know you're going to suck in the beginning. And that's okay. I have been drawing and painting and doing all of that stuff my whole life, really, right? I talked about this earlier about how when you don't have a lot of money, you can very easily, as a child, you can draw because you always have a pencil and paper for school. So that's what I did. I drew a lot. I wrote stories and drew a lot and did all these other things. And I still make mistakes. I still make things that I'm like, that's just, wow, that did not work out well at all. And I'll see some people online, and here, I'll show you. I'll see people online and they'll be like, I'll show you my bad work. I did this landscape, right? It didn't turn out the way that I wanted to. It didn't. I did, sometimes they just don't turn out the way that you want them to. Right? I was playing around with this one and then I just said, whatever. And I just started doing some really, like, I actually then really, really went to town on that. So like, I have things that are just like, what was that? Right? So give yourself a break. You don't have to be perfect. Which picture? Which landscape? A lot of times I'm not using any reference photos. I just paint and whatever comes out, comes out. And, you know, I'll paint just whatever, a landscape or a mushroom or whatever. And those whatevers can become exactly. And it's all about, and that's all you look at it as. If this one here, it's an opportunity when you practice and like when it doesn't turn out the way that you want, then you're like, okay, well, what was it? Was it too much water? Was it too much? Was it not enough water? Or was it like, did I, like you're learning, and that's all that it is. I am picky about my water. I do want it has to be 100% cotton. I don't get so picky that I have to buy from only one certain supplier. I'm not that picky. I'm just picky that it has to be cotton. It can be cold pressed or hot pressed, but I tend to use cold press a lot more than I use hot press. Oh, neat. It's pretty good because I just painted that from nothing. I wasn't looking at Stony Tony. Yeah. Yep. That's the only bit of pickiness that I am. I do like Winsor Newton paints. I haven't tried any other like really higher end paints. Like I have a ton of brushes. There's definitely some brushes that I really, really like. I got a nice 5-pack from my mom for my birthday this year from Fumu, I think is what the company's called, on Amazon. And it has 5 different types of brushes. One's a quill, one's an 8 round. The other one's a blunt that's great for grass. And there's two other ones that are specialty brushes. That one's a combo brush. They're the new ones that come out that have a really long, thin tip on them. That's synthetic, but then there's a round at the base is a round brush, which is typically made with a natural. That way there, the round brush holds a lot of paint and water, but the synthetic tip doesn't hold as much. So it's really great for fine work. And then you still have the round to do a little bit more like looser painting. So you wouldn't necessarily have to switch your brush as much, which is cool. Yeah. Love your life. Like it's the one thing that I can honestly tell people to do is, from my experience of, how it's just love your life. Like what do you love to do? Do it. What you don't like to do, don't do it. And I know that sounds silly because people be like, I don't like washing, this, or I don't like cleaning toilets. So I just don't have to do it. Well, no, things have to get done. So if you don't like doing it, and you got to get someone else to do it. That's just the way it goes. You can either pay somebody to do it or hope somebody else wants to do it for free, but it's something that has to get done, right? My dishes have to get done. I either have to put them in the dishwasher, or I have to do them by hand, or I have to get someone else to do them. It's just the way that it happens, right? They have to get done. So sure, there's things I'm not going to sit here and say, I love doing dishes is my favorite thing, right? Like I'm not going to sit here and just jump up and down and talk about that, right? But I have changed my mindset on that. I think of my house as my temple as well. So my body is my personal temple, but this is my home. It's my temple. So I clean my house. I put pride into my house now. I want my space to be tidy, at least. I'm not talking perfection here. I bet you if you went out in my kitchen right now, you'd find some black oil sunflower seeds on the floor, because when I grabbed some out today, they fell out of the cup and I haven't swept them up yet. It's not about perfection, right? But it's about, there is like cleanliness next to godliness, right? Mm-hmm. So something in your life is just, if you're going to work every day and you hate your job, or if you're in a relationship and, every couple of weeks or couple of months, you're in a big old row and you're wondering if you should dump them, or they're wondering if they should dump you, and you're wondering and you're saying to yourself, well, if only they could just do this, if they would just change in this way, if only we could just do this and this and this, then you're just biding time in a pattern and in a cycle. There's something that you were meant to learn and grow. And if you let it happen the way that it was meant to happen, a little more naturally, you're going to move in the direction that's meant for you. You're going to align with the things that are meant for you, right? If you're in a relationship and you don't want to be in that relationship, but you're just holding out because, for whatever reason it is, the fear of being alone, and you're holding on to that, you're not just blocking you, you're blocking that person too. You're blocking them from the healing that they're going to do when that relationship ends, because there's always healing that occurs through those breakups. You're blocking that person from moving on, from actually advancing in their life, right? And that's not fair. Like you have to look at, it for yourself, right? And if you look at it, doesn't matter how you look at it. You look at it, I only got one life. This is it. I'm an atheist. There's nothing after this. I just got this one life. Well, then you better live the best life of your whole life, because it's only one. So why are you living it according to how someone else thinks you should live it? Why are you not working the thing that you love the most? Why are you not with people who actually lift you up, inspire you, make you feel like the people that are around you that are like sunshine, right? Why are you not doing these things? Right? If you've only got one life. Now, if you're somebody who is, I just lost my train of thought because the AI summary just made me laugh, because it's talking about toilet cleaning because we talked about that briefly. So now my live is apparently about toilet cleaning tips. Oh, AI, you crack me up. Oh my gosh. That was funny, right? If you are, it's the same thing, right? Like we wait and we wait and we wait and we wait until the straw that breaks the camel's back. Well, what straw is it? What straw is it that's the straw that finally tells you to stop pretending and start living the way that you're meant to live, to start honoring your truth. Right? Mom, tap the screen, tap your phone. I'll teach my mom how to use, hi Pen Dizzy. I'll teach my mom how to use TikTok. Yes, my mom's watching me on TikTok. Well, my mom is hip and with it. She is cool. She is groovy. Hi, Amy. Long time no see. How are you doing, love? But yes, life can change at any point in time, so you better be living the one you love. If you're somebody that believes in an afterlife, you have a belief that there's something that you're supposed to do this lifetime, or a mission that you have. So why are you delaying it? There's people that are waiting on you. They're waiting on whatever it is that you're meant to bring into this world. So the longer that you delay stepping into your alignment, stepping into your truth, stepping onto your path, your mission, the longer that you're denying the other people the opportunity to wake up too. Yeah, no, I think my mom's got an apple. I think my brother got her one. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, I love you, but I am going to head off so I can get my monkey man out here for a run around the property before it gets too late. I will be back on Tuesday, where we'll be talking about the celestial alignment for the week. We'll see what we've got coming up for those alignments. That will be on Tuesday at 1:44 p.m. MST, or whatever time it is for you. And yeah. I love you, Karen. It was wonderful having you here. I very much enjoyed your attendance and your presence and all of that. Right? So yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you back here. Go check out the website. Go check it out. Go at least join the free group, right? It's free, so you should. Love you guys. Did they? Bye, guys. Bye, Mama. Bye, guys. Have a great night. Bye, Leslie. There we go. Now we're really bonking.